Good morning, Alaska. Welcome back to another show of the Den AK. I am your host, Lee Butterfield, coming to you from the bowels of South Anchorage High School in South Anchorage. And we are glad to be bringing all this info to you. We have a crew who is cast about the entire state, coming to you to talk to you about what's happening in the state of Alaska in the education world, and to talk a little turkey. We got to talk a little turkey because tomorrow is Thanksgiving. That's right. Today is Wednesday, my dudes, November 25th. Tomorrow's the 26th, the day when we're going to, I don't know, do whatever it is you do on that day that you have no school for these next 4 days, which is kind of awesome. So welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Den. Good to see you all. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. We got a huge crew here who's super stoked to be awake this early in the morning for that audience of like 7 that get up. And I gotta admit, come on, we got some super fans here that are up at 7 a.m. Lots of folks watch the archive, and we really appreciate that. But I gotta tell you, we got some super fans that get here at 7 a.m., start watching this show, interacting, talking to us, and we really appreciate all you folks out there who get up, get in here, pour your cup of coffee, don't drink it till 9 or 10, and hang out with us in the Den. We really dig it. So let's kick it over. Let's go quickly and to the point. Welcome back, Dr. Johnson, to the Den. Good to see you. Happy day. Loving the sign back behind you. That thing hasn't moved at all. We need to we should get an artist and actually maybe put this out, right, for artists to redesign that in different styles that you could hang behind you on different Den shows. That'd be kind of fun to do.
Please do. I bought 2 frames, Amazon.com for like, I think $12.98. So the other frame's sitting right over there. So make an advertisement for the Den, and then when I'm on all these Zooms all day long, I can be advertising this show.
That's fantastic. Hey, when you get a chance, what we would love then is why don't you, before noon today, get a measurement of what the size of that frame is, and we will push that out on our show at noon, and we will get some artists out there making some stuff.
Okay, it's 11 by 17 paper.
Look at that. He didn't even need to get out a tape measure. He just knew it.
Yep, standard 11 by 17 paper, because I made that one. That's just a piece of white paper. I took the glass out so it doesn't reflect, and so that people, it doesn't show my computer screen from behind me. So yeah, 11 by 17. Make me something cool.
That's awesome.
Or maybe 2 cool things, and I'll change my set every now and then.
There we go. There we go. All 7 of you watching out there live, and the 30 or 40 of you that are watching the archive, here's the deal. Find that artist in your life, 11 by 17, advertisement for the Den AK at thedenak.org, and get that sent that file over to us here at the Den. Go ahead and just email me at Butterfield_Lee at ASDK12.org. Need that again. They're going to put it in the chat because the people in the chat are rocking and rolling. That's Butterfield_Lee at ASDK12.org. Send that right over. We'll get that to who it needs to go to. And tell us what is happening in the world of the Commissioner of Education for the state of Alaska.
Yeah, well, one more thing about that. If you'll just send me the file, we have a printer at the office that I can print it. So that's cool. I'll look forward to that. Commissioner of Education. So not a lot has changed in terms of the dynamic from last time we checked in. Some of the communities that were kind of on lockdown because of COVID are starting to open back up. Heard yesterday about a kind of a single site school district that it was getting better, so they were starting to open up. But then at the same time, there's some others that are starting to close down more. And we continue to see that, it's really cases in the adult population. Teachers, one school had to close down because the entire custodial staff tested positive, that sort of thing. And so that continues to be a dynamic. But I will say, I continue to very much appreciate all the educators and the students for figuring out how to make it work. I think we get better and better at it as time goes by. And so I just encourage everybody to keep working together.
That's fantastic. And so, wow, an entire custodian staff, that's kind of spooky. I got a couple questions for you just because I don't speak at the lingo at the state level. So when you say a single site school district, are you talking like one building and all the employees and students and everyone that within that district are in that building?
Yeah, I mean, technically it might not be just one building, but it's a single school site. So, there might be an elementary and high school. They might, be connected by a hallway, or there may be two separate buildings sitting next to each other. But, we have some school districts. We have a school district that, maybe 13, 14 kids in the whole school district. It's one school, K-12. And then we have Anchorage School District. So we have everything in between.
Yeah, that's a lot of different logistics to try and kind of figure out and run with. Do you drink a lot of coffee?
I drink, I was up at 3:30. I had to wait half an hour for you to get up this morning. So I've had a little coffee till you got up. But yeah, I drink a little bit in the mornings.
That's fantastic. And so there's a big thing that's coming up in the state, right? And so this affects kind of what you do at the position that you're in. And so we have our state legislatures that are starting, all of our legislators and all of our senators and all of our representatives, they start to meet pretty soon here. And that really drives a big part of where you're going to be over the next few months, correct?
Yeah, so I have the privilege of I get to see government up close. I get to sit there and watch the drama and sometimes the silliness, and all the good stuff happen too. But I would say, from my perspective, you, especially in the media, there's so much drama associated with politics and the legislature, but we really do have an ingenious system of government, because if we would just trust the system we have, there's lots of checks and balances built into that system. So the legislature has checks and balances, the governor has checks and balances, the judicial system has checks and balances. So when we trust the system and just work with everybody, it actually works out pretty well in the end.
It's pretty amazing. I think that, like everything in our lives, TV has given us an idea of what things are really like. I'm really this good looking when it's coming through your computer screen, but in real life, I'm horribly ugly. But I think it's really interesting, right? As a few years ago, I got to go to Juneau and kind of see how things worked and sit through it. And it wasn't the kind of drama that it always kind of been made out to be. And it was a whole lot of very rigidly structured conversation and understanding kind of what was going on and where things were going. And I learned a lot from it. I'd suggest everyone in this room right now, if you haven't yet, and you get the chance when things clear up and you should go watch a legislative session. And it's a little different on TV than it is in person. It's not quite as warm in the room as it is when you're in person, and the chairs at home aren't quite as uncomfortable as they are when you are in person. And so I'd really suggest you go check it out and see how it all runs. It's pretty fantastic stuff.
So since we have all these great students on, I think recess is really a lot more like real life than TV and all that sort of thing. So when you think about recess, think about all the people that were on the playground that, you had the people who were grumpy a lot. You had people that seemed to always get in a fight during the kickball game. You had the people that like to just run around and talk. You had the people that had fun no matter what was happening. They were just out there having a blast. It's kind of like that in real life. The legislature is full of all the same sorts of people that we played with on the playground. They're wonderful. Every one of them is wonderful in their own unique way. And we just have to figure out how to all get along, because if we all work together, recess is a whole lot more fun than, sitting over in the corner pouting. So
since you brought it up, hey, who in the room was the grumpy person on the playground? Just like kicked rocks, like looked at the ground, walked in a circle. Anyone? And who was the one having who was the one having fun no matter what? I think I should see a hand going up. There we go. Yeah, I can see that going on right there. And who was the one getting in fights on the kickball field? That was Grace and Clara beating each other, wasn't it? No? And then Bria was standing in the corner with popcorn. Hit her again!
Bria was breaking her jaw.
Oh, yeah? Oh, no. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so kicking it over. First off, okay, now the most important question I'm going to ask you today, Dr. Johnson. So if you need a minute, take a minute. I understand. Roasted, smoked, or fried?
Roasted, smoked, or fried. I'll eat it anyway.
How are you cooking it tomorrow?
Yeah, we're roasting it.
Roasting. We got one roasted. Remember that. Who's keeping tabs on that? Ben's keeping tabs on that today. He's going to keep a running score. He's very surprised he's keeping a running score, but he's going to keep a running score. Moving it over, Mr. Claymore, welcome to the den. Welcome back. Good to see you. Tell us, what's happening in your neck of the woods?
Good morning. Well, I am presently brining my turkey. before it's going to be roasted and butter injected. So that's what we're doing. I want to try a fried one day, but I have a problem with all the leftover oil and what to do with it, So anyways, that's where we're at.
So who in here is an avid turkey fryer? Anyone? And what do you do with the oil, Kate?
Well, we do this huge turkey fry at my mom's office. So we're frying like 100 turkeys like in one day. Usually we put it in, we have like these giant like plastic bins that we dump them into and they like solidify. I don't know what we do with it after that. I just see them dump them into the bins.
You just find someone with a VW bus that's been converted to use turkey fat, and then they start driving around, and everyone follows around going, Thanksgiving, right? And it's just perfect. So I went to school in Missoula, Montana, which Bria loves. She thinks it's the greatest school on the planet, and we had the biodiesel and programs going on there, and they were all kinds of experimental vehicles rolling around town all the time. And the one that was my favorite was the one that ran off of the fry oil from McDonald's. And so they would literally just pull up to a McDonald's and take their fry oil and fill their tank with fry oil and drive around town. And it smelled like a French fry driving around Missoula, Montana. And you'd have all these folks following them going, why does it smell so good around here? That's another story. You'll learn that later. But it's all kinds of craziness when you have a VW bus rolling down the street smelling like a French fry. So you guys all have something to look forward to when you get to college. Hopefully they're still filling their tanks with fry oil. All right. So what's been happening in your world?
So as the commissioner said, we're kind of in a holding pattern with districts trying to react to these record numbers of COVID, whether they're open virtually or whether they're open in person. Everybody's working with their local situation and trying to make the best conditions for learning for the students that they can. And so it's been what we're hearing from educators is how wearing it is. Especially there are a few places that have some students in person and some students online at the same time that they're supposed to manage. And I think the holiday will be nice respite for everybody to be able to try to take a break, rejuvenate a little bit, and maybe take care of themselves a little bit. Mental health is real, and I think there's quite a bit of fatigue going on. Students sitting in front of screens all day are feeling it, and so are educators, and frankly probably parents too. And so I think this will be good, and everybody's looking towards the future, hopefully, right, with all the news about the 3 vaccines that are going to be available relatively shortly, probably not to the general population as soon as we want, but educators are in the second highest group, is my understanding, for distribution. And so after healthcare workers and first responders and that sort of thing. And so hopefully that'll help us all get back to school in person as much as we can, as soon as we can, even though there'll still be some mitigation going on for the foreseeable future, PPE and such.
Wow, that's heavy. That's a lot of stuff going on right there. And I'm gonna back it up just 1 second. I'm gonna say, who in this room is ready for the 4-day weekend? Yeah, you guys, it's everywhere, and I don't get to make policy, and I don't get in trouble for talking about not making policy. So here's what I'm gonna say: I kind of wish we would have had Monday off all the way through, and I was kind of feeling like some students were feeling that a little bit too. How many of you were feeling that around here too? That it was like, I need a break, right? So everyone's feeling it, guys. I got to tell you, all the way up and down the line. Yes, this break is exciting, and then we got a few more weeks, and then we're gonna have a little bit of a longer break, and we're gonna rock it and be okay and get outside. That's the ticket. Get outside. Just don't be like my Bella and don't bust up your foot. So
when you guys get back in your classes, or I don't know if they'll know about it today or not. So probably after break when all of you get back to your classes, ask your teacher about the contest that is being sponsored by the Alaska Association of Family Practitioners. We're partnering with them to advertise their contest. And so information will be going out to teachers and such. It's a contest about mask wearing. And so students will be doing submissions for that, and they're cash prizes. So I don't know the parameters aside from that. We're just advertising it for them, but it should be a fun way to those of you that express yourself artistically to be able to participate and maybe win a prize.
So is this like designing masks and things like this and such and things and such?
Yeah, I don't know if it's I think it's more advertising. It's a mask awareness contest.
Oh, okay.
So beyond that, I'm short on details, but just if you're interested, when I get the exact info, Lee, I'll send it to asktheden.org,
yeah.
And you can give it to your students, but it should be coming out through advertising through local union presidents and that. So teachers should have that info.
Well, I ask because I have an eldest child who runs with a whole group full of, and I say this in the most loving way, nerds. And to me, they're some of the greatest people on the planet. And so what they've been doing over the last 3 days, they're taking Monster cans, empty Monster cans, and they've been slicing the bottoms off, and they've been taking like some of the bigger masks, and they've been turning them into like crazy, like post-apocalyptic gas mask looking like combat masks. And that's what they're wearing, and they're super nerdy, and I love stuff like that. So I was hoping we were going to get into some nerdy mask design. Yes, Clara.
So I just looked up the mask contest. It's by the Alaska Academy of Family Physicians. Most importantly, first prize for a classroom is $500, and first prize for an individual student is $300. There are a bunch of different themes and a bunch of different ways that you can do it. There's pictures, videos, posters, any kind of thing that you can imagine, apparently. So,
all right. It sounds like we have to get some stuff going on here, folks. You got to earn you some $300 so that you can use it. And since you're talking, Clara, roasted, fried, or smoked?
We roast our turkey.
Roasted. We got another roasted. So we've got 3 roasted so far and 1 fried for Kate, because I'm assuming you're still frying this year, Kate. 1 fried for Kate. Haven't heard of smoked yet. We'll get there. I promise. Okay, everybody, let's start the big rundown. Patrick, roasted, fried, or smoked?
I think roasted.
Roasted. Dr. Ullman, when you backpack out to your yurt in the middle of nowhere, how are you cooking your turkey?
Also roasted.
Are you roasting it in the yurt, or are you going to...
That's when we get back.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's a quick overnight. We got lucky and got an opening in reservations, so...
Oh, awesome. Next time you got to take the turkey with you. Just
It'd be heavy in a backpack.
Split it down the middle and wrap it around the backpack so it looks like it's holding on like a little kid. And
I will be spatchcocking the turkey before I roast it,
that's
to introduce that term to the show.
Well, I'm glad you got to and I didn't. Bria, you're going to be doing something similar, but you're not going to roast that turkey, are you? What are you going to do?
No, we're going to smoke it.
You're going to smoke your spatchcocked turkey, and the purpose of that is to get that nice pink layer of smoke in there and then slowly dissolve all the ligaments and tendons, and then you'll eat it like midnight, right?
Yeah, pretty much, because our smoker always dies halfway through, and our turkey's too big to fit this year, so we got like little straps to hold the lid on the smoker.
Nice.
And it always dies, so then it takes forever to cook our turkey.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Plus, it's, 20 degrees outside, so keeping a smoker at, 120 or 250 or whatever is tough. Okay, we got 1 smoked. We got another 2 roasted. Grace, did we already ask Clara? We got a roasted from Clara. Are you eating the same turkey that Clara's eating, or are you going to make your own and compete with each other?
I mean, I guess I'm eating the same one.
Oh, okay. All right. Maddie, what do we got?
We're also roasting.
Roasting. We got another roasting. All right, Seth?
Well, some years we smoke it. Some years we roast it. I've had 1 year where we've roasted it and smoked it, but this year I think we're smoking it. So
Okay, we got smoked turkey over there, and Peyton, you're the last one. Always having fun in the playground. What are you gonna do?
We're gonna try something new, and we're gonna just eat it raw.
Oh, hey, that's a new one. That wasn't even on the list. So, do you have like your medication stocked up on, and all the leftover toilet paper from the first problems we had? Are you ready for this illness? Because it's horrifying.
We're just gonna see who can last the longest.
Without
kind of survival of the fittest.
Okay, there you go. I don't think you understand what survival of the fittest means, my friend. Your parents already won. All right, so Ben, we got to ask you now because we haven't asked you. What do you got, buddy?
We roast our turkey.
Roasted turkey. We're also going to roast it this year. We are doing a dry brine this year, though. We're not doing a wet brine. So it's a little bit different from what we've done in the past. We're really excited. So, is anyone trying out something new this year just in general for their Thanksgiving dinner? Who's making something they've never made before? Perhaps a dessert.
I am, instead of making pies this year, I'm making a tiramisu for my family.
Tiramisu.
I'm going to make it today, actually. It has to sit in the fridge for 24 hours.
That's fantastic. How many people in here have never had tiramisu? Let me know. Okay, good. How many people now want more of it just by hearing it this early in the morning with their coffee? Maybe even like taking a chunk out, putting it in a bowl, and pouring coffee over it. It's like the new breakfast. It's Thanksgiving breakfast. There it is. We've made something new. Thank you all for joining us. Do we have anything in the chat, Kate?
No, we do not.
Okay, I want to say to everybody out there, I hope that you keep family close if they're close to you, and that you are making time for yourself and for the people around you. This weekend is more important than it has ever been in a very long time, and no matter anything that you're coming from or anything you're going to, this is a time when you got a few days off. You got to call some people. You got to write some letters. Trust me, write a letter. If you got a parent or a grandparent and you are from a generation of my age or younger, write a letter to those people, because guess what? It would be valued in ways you do not understand. And take the time this weekend to do it. Reach out. Tell people you love them. If you see someone who needs help, help them. This is a perfect time to be reminded that we are a country of individuals, but we are a country of individuals who has historically done what they can to take care of themselves when they need to and take care of each other when they have to. And I think that that's really important to remember this weekend. Go out, have fun, play some cards, say hi to your family, eat a decent meal, sing some songs, and reach out to some folks who maybe don't have that going on in their life right now, and say hello and let them know that you are thinking about them. Because sometimes when we're in the darkest of the tunnel, just a candle on the other end saying, hey, we're here and we're thinking about you is pretty important. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you next week at the Den AK.